Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today it's a great Friday morning and here I am picking some orders. Two orders actually that requested to be packed on camera. I know we don't normally do this, but today I thought I'd change it up a little bit. So we have one order from Ron, who placed an order this morning, and it just so happens that I was going to be packing anyway, and another from Kiha, I believe is the name. So two orders here to pack, only 66 lots, which isn't too bad. So we're just going to go through, and I'm using the old Brick Freedom pick sheet primarily because the new one doesn't work on this iPad, because I believe the iPad is too old. There's like a little fly in here. I'm going to start picking before this gets too long. I don't really know how long it's going to take me to pick these 66 lots. We will see. Little layout on the cart. This is a traditional layout that we used to do. It's changed a little bit. This is not normally how we pick. We don't pick with like two things. We usually pick with significantly more. You know, like 9, 10, 12 orders maybe at a time. But we have, for this video, gone backwards. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to look or anything, or sound or anything, but all right, 234. Another thing is I don't know if this is a good angle, because like if I go up, I have to like lean really far backwards in order for you to see. 234. So yeah, this is a traditional layout. Like I said, this is our new side, this is our used side. Then the letters correlate, you know, A, B, new, used. Bags are usually not here. We usually don't bag it as we go. We usually bag it at the end, but I'm going to do it a little differently today. I'm going to do it, like I said, in a traditional way. Got my coffee. Great morning. Can't have a bad day if you start with coffee. Actually, that's probably not true. I've had many bad days that have begun with coffee. Okay. So, I had something I was going to talk about, and I don't remember what it was now. Specifically about the picking the orders and stuff. I don't know if this is what I was going to talk about, but I can talk about it. So, a lot of people request to have their orders picked on camera, and we just don't do it anymore because it takes a lot of time. And like, for example, right now I'm picking two orders. How many do I need? 4. I'm picking 2 orders, and I didn't really want to pack a really long pick sheet because, for example, I want this to be done quickly. You know, we're at 5 out of 66. Imagine if I was only at 5 out of like a normal pick sheet, which is like 300 lots or something. Wouldn't really want to make that a whole video, so only wanted to do 2. But for whatever reason, when I saw the message the other day, okay, 1281. Yeah, when I saw the message the other day, see, here's an example of where I got to tilt up in order for you to see it. I think it came in yesterday. I was like, you know what? That's a great video for Friday. Not that comes out today, but it will come out next week. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I can't count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. And people love these videos for some reason. These videos are super duper requested, which is part of the reason we're doing it as well. It's not just because people requested it in terms of typing it in with their order as a message, but specifically because so many people seem to love it in terms of on YouTube. People are always asking, can you do more picking BrickLink order videos? And, you know, it's really not, I don't want to say it's not worth our time, because that makes it sound like a negative thing, but it's just, it takes so much time. I guess I can show you some of this too. It takes so much time that, I guess I don't need to pour this one. So we do something back early this year, early 22. Oh, interesting. That was new. We don't usually mix new and used, but like this is definitely not a new piece. That's definitely used. Interesting. Where was I going? Back in early 2022, we had taken a trip over to visit David. I almost called you Dave. Visit David West in his store, and Chris James from the Great Brick Lab. And we really took a look. You know, we used to have drawers. I mean, this is a relatively full one, but like very much like this, where this piece belonged on this side. Sorry, you can't even see that. This piece belongs on this side, and that piece belongs on that side. And that was really it. Where we've now started doing drawers like this, where we're starting to, what we're calling stuff them, or put a significant amount more pieces. You know, some of them are not relevant in terms of, because they're so full, but like this has like 3 different lots in it, even though it's pretty full. Okay, of course I can't find some. Here's another one where there's some mix, a little bit of mix here. Not a whole lot, but we were like, here's an example again, kind of like the one I pulled out. We're trying to put a lot more in a drawer, especially with like decorated pieces and stuff that we don't have a huge quantity of, because we are still consolidating. I know so many people are jumping off of that consolidate train and they're going on to the non-consolidated thing, and I think we're getting pretty close, if I'm honest. It just is really slowing us down in terms of adding pieces, and you know, there was some speed and stuff in our Discord that was communicated in terms of 1718 speed of picking and the additional picking that it takes versus the increase in efficiency you get when it comes to adding. So over time, you know, theoretically, you will begin to slow down, or it'll begin to the increase in which sorry, I'm trying to count and talk and stuff. The increase in which you're able to add versus the decrease in picking time, or the decrease in efficiency for picking, will eventually, I don't think it'll ever even out, but it will get closer to each other, just because as you add many, many, many more lots to the wall that are in different spots, eventually it will become, I don't want to say a mute point, or moot, I don't know. But eventually that'll start to even out. That's probably a long, long ways away though. What drawer? 1889, that's up here. I don't know, we're still on the edge, but I think we're probably gonna go that direction. But anyway, I was saying that in our Discord, a lot of people have been switching to that, where we see people being like, oh, I'm going to the dark side, no longer consolidating, whatever they say, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, but we are definitely headed, I think, in that direction in the near future, actually, probably. This is being recorded towards the end of October. I assume this will come out in the next couple weeks, so, okay, be used. I don't want to mess this order up. Another thing we changed, and I think we've talked about it in streams and stuff, and we're not really doing vlogs very much anymore just because it's really hard to stay consistent with that. But something else that we're doing is verifying every single order now. And don't worry, you guys will let me know if I make a mistake in the video, but we are verifying every single order now as they go out. So once these orders are packed, you know, and it's all bagged up, I will then take these, or the orders, and I'll go to the computer, and before I actually put it in a box, 2177, we actually put it in. I don't think this is the best camera angle. I just feel like you're missing a lot. Let me see if I can tilt it down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know about this camera. We'll see. Where's that going? Anyway, we verify the orders now, which we probably said before. But essentially that means we go through the entire order. We pour out the bags, and we double check the count and the condition and the quantity. I guess that would be the count. But you know, everything for the order to make sure they got the right pieces. Mostly because with multi-order picking, if we were only picking one order, maybe the count is wrong, maybe the condition of a piece we didn't catch while we were picking. But for the most part, the most common problem, which we're still trying to find a remedy for, and if you guys have any ideas, we're all ears in the comment section. For example, I mean, I'm only picking 2 orders, and order A only has 3 lots in it, so we're not even to order A yet. Let's say though, for example, I had 12 orders that I was picking. And order B, I picked 2 of these, and I accidentally put it in cup C because it was next to it or something, or E because I read the letter wrong, or whatever it is. That's actually the most common problem is, you know, we accidentally put this piece into the wrong cup for the wrong order. So you find that on verification, which is good. And I think it's actually really good because, yeah, this is such a, I don't know, this camera angle, I'm sorry. I think it's actually really good that we are verifying now. Let me adjust it again. I don't think tilting down actually made it better. Okay. It's good that we find it on verification because if we, for example, put this piece, and this was, I know there's one more in the drawer, but if this was the only piece that we had and we accidentally gave it to the wrong person, now we can't ship that piece out to this customer if they reach out to us and say, hey, I didn't get the piece. The only remedy for that then is to refund them, and in which case, if we find this prior, we actually give them the right piece. Not only are they getting the proper thing in their order, but we have the ability, you know, let's say, or let's say on a big day, sorry, I'm going all over the place here, 2433. Let me keep picking. on a big order, maybe a really, really big order, sometimes what I'll do is on a pick sheet, if there are, say, we'll just say 6 orders, and all 6 orders got picked for the day, then, where does this go? I don't want to put things back in the right spot. I might verify the 5 smaller ones, or the 5 smallest, and then the 6th one that's really big, assuming the other 5 are completely correct, I will assume that biggest one is correct. Really depends on the size, and if I feel like it's worth the time versus not worth the time to actually verify it. And in a case where it's not too big, that's not even the right drawer. It's the wrong spot. You guys will also tell me if I put the drawer back in the wrong spot. I remember that from previous videos of these. 2543. I was going somewhere with verifying. I don't know where. I don't know why I'm like pausing when I pull it out to see what letter it is. This is all B. I think his name was Ron. Is that what his name was? See, this is a very old iPad. It's like 10 years old now. It doesn't even have the momentum scrolling where if you scroll. Yeah, so Ron only has 3 items, 3 lots. I think they were all minifigs, so we're probably getting close to there. Let me just make sure it's on this pick sheet. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, we're almost there. We're about a third of the way done with this. I don't know how long this video is. My mount on my thing's covering up the time code, so I can't actually see how long it's been. But that's okay. 2543, I got that piece. 2614. I don't know. We've been... Is this a different length? Okay. We've been discussing, doing a video like this again, and obviously I'm doing it now, because for some reason everyone loves it, which is great, but we need to really figure out the YouTube situation exactly. We've been trying to do every week. We try to post every Friday if we can, which, for the most part we've been better with. We're doing that podcast, the Brickside Chat podcast, where, we stream it live with you guys. We've also talked about with that, 2764, because it is slightly difficult for Paul and I to really align our schedules consistently. So we've talked about maybe no longer streaming that, since we're really not interacting with chat anyway. 2967. Since we really don't interact with the chat, and we kind of just, not that we're not looking at it at all, it's really not a discussion that anyone's having with us. The thought with it being live was that you guys in the chat could be having a discussion with each other, which does kind of happen, but we could also do it with a YouTube premiere. So that might, 2998, that could be where we go with that. That's in the wrong spot. I don't know. I don't know how, maybe if you've seen or listened to the Brickside Chat podcast, and you can let us know how you feel about it being live and whether or not it should be live, or if it doesn't matter or what, just because we've also thought about doing one of those episodes every 2 weeks instead of once a month. The only thing is we definitely couldn't be doing it live then, because that would just be too much of a commitment to set up the camera and all the audio mixing properly, to stream it out. Okay, here's another drawer that says new. So, if you look at this pick sheet, which I can't see if you can see because I can't see the camera, this is new condition. I just picked it, but it was in this drawer of I'm pretty sure not new pieces, because these are dark gray. I don't think we have any new dark gray in our inventory. So we need to figure that out. So we have some contractors who come in and do picking, most of the time actually. And at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Let's see. So for example, this one over here is halfway out. There's another drawer here, halfway out. The halfway out ones mean that there's room in them. So clearly room in this side, and obviously there's nothing in that side right now. So we leave them halfway out, and then at the end of the day, we do something called reassignment, which is essentially take a drawer off the wall. So this is such a sad drawer. Take a drawer off the wall and we add stuff to the other side or to this side, or it gets pulled off and we actually, move the pieces from drawer to drawer. Whereas with adding, I mean we put new pieces in this side that are newly cataloged. So I'm wondering if that must be the moment at which some confusion is happening between new pieces, not knowing if they're new, and adding used into the drawer. which I guess would be a benefit from having a completely new section and then a completely used section. Okay, we were at 20 lots a few minutes ago. Now we're at 26. I'm going to take a quick break here. Not a break, but I'm going to speed this up, and maybe I'll do a little time lapse or something. That might not look good, though, with this camera and everything in the lens. I'm going to try to get towards the end of these orders, and I'll catch back up with you in just a second once I hit order A, because this is going to take me forever. Okay, and we have caught up to order A now. I found another one up here. I think it was this, reddish brown piece. Also in the new condition in a drawer with additional pieces. That might have been only new pieces in that drawer. There was quantity in there, so that could have been correct. I didn't check, but definitely a lot of mixed up stuff. Okay, 5564. So a lot of people haven't seen this new section of our aisleway. What am I getting out of here? Wait, 5464, that's not right. 5564. A lot of people haven't seen this new section of our aisleway, so actually maybe I can back up and give you a shot. So this is the new completed section now, where we have everything on the left and the right. And same thing, single pick pass, so we go from left, right, left, right, left, right. And then we kind of make our way around this corner, and then we hit this back side of the wall here with these larger drawers. And I'll get to our last section in just a moment. We started at the B section with the bins. We'll get to that last section in a minute. But we are now at 44 of 66, and it only took me a couple minutes to pack those 20 lots, or a few minutes. I did have to pause the camera for a second there because I got confused, but I also didn't want I don't want the camera to fill up and not be able to finish the video. Okay, 5572. It's incredible how, like, once I start talking, I become so ineffective at doing whatever it is that I am supposed to be doing. Okay, 5791. So kind of as I was going off of earlier, I don't know if I would say you should expect to see many more of these types of videos. I know people love these, but again, it slows us down a lot. And like right now, I'm very stuck on what to even talk about. I know what we did a long time ago when I was doing some of these picking videos. Way back when, over there was the table, and there was a computer at the table, and I'd look at the computer, I'd walk down the aisle, get the piece, and walk back to the computer. What an ineffective way to pick. But what I did last, or when I was doing that, okay. So here's an example of a missing drawer, 5827. Does not appear to be there. Okay, so I know on the new order picker, you can actually flag a thing, which is nice, but on the old one you can't. So I will just not mark it, and I'll try to remember to come back. But again, during verification, worst case, I will realize that piece is not there, and then I can go check. And there we have some problem drawers, or what we call problem drawers, that are actually sitting up by the computer over there that need to just be checked, and it's most likely in that pile. So 5937. What I was doing though, oh wait a second, 5827, that's a different drawer. That's up here. Okay, just kidding, it is here. What I was doing earlier, or a while ago, wow. See, no one's gonna wanna watch, this is such a disaster. 5937. What I did initially was when people requested that the video be picked on camera, they also had to give me a topic to talk about, or a good question. I think the problem with that is some of the orders, like this one for example, are taking me too long, where even a simple topic, or a simple singular topic, even a complex singular topic, I probably could not continue talking about. When Paul and I are talking on the Brickside Chat podcast, it's much easier because it's like there's back and forth. I don't want to call it banter because that's definitely not the right word, but okay, I'm also just setting these next to it just because I'll know that that's the only other order goes in. But there's a lot more back and forth conversation that we can have where one of us will bring up a point and then the other one can kind of stew on that concept for a second while that person is continuing to talk. See, this might be an example of a drawer that is just too full, but maybe not. So while, let's say I'm saying something, for example, and Paul mentions something, and then that triggers something in my head to think of another thing, then I can sit on that for a second before I need to talk again. Whereas with this, I'm trying to do like all these different things at once. It's very difficult. Okay, 6271. So that's why with that podcast, it's much easier just to talk and talk and talk. Whereas with this, it's like, I still have 14 lots to pick, and this is going to be at least another 5 minutes minimum, I'd say, which it should not take 5 minutes to pick 14 lots. But it's going to take at least that long. 6277. And I'm sure I made a mistake in here, but I'll find it during verification. And that is okay, because that's why we verify. The verification was something I was really against for a long time, because it just felt like such a waste of time. And now I would say that's almost my primary job. The contractors pick during the day, usually. Today no one's in, which is partially why I'm picking this on camera. But the contractors pick during the day, and then I verify. What drawer is this? 3081. I verify in the early afternoon, late morning, and then pack all the orders and stuff as well. 6383. But yeah, I didn't like it, and then we just decided it really ended up being worth it. So I don't know if this is something other people do. We double check all the torsos and the backs of the arms. So if you like, I can't see the camera, so I'm not really sure if this is working. But if you, I really don't know if that's lined up, I'm sorry. If you look underneath the arm, there could be a crack on either side in the torso, also in the back, and then underneath the arms where the hands click in, there could be a crack. We've had a lot of quality issues. Unfortunately, I guess fortunately, I don't know how to say it, but it usually doesn't make it to the customer cracked. But then it's really sad when we have to tell the customer that we don't have a piece. And Paul has a theory, and I'm not sure how confident I am in this, but he checks it really well when he catalogs, or so he says. And then it gets put in the drawer, and it's eventually this gets picked then. And then I find a crack. And Paul has a theory that because of the tension of legs and stuff, while it's in the drawer, it has the ability to crack. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how everyone else, if anyone else has an opinion on that. I'm like looking for. Whoa, sorry, I just tilted everything there. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have maybe an idea as to if that happens or could happen, or like while it's in the drawer. But that's Paul's theory. I think we're probably just missing stuff. We're just 65, 90. We're not checking it early enough on, and we don't see a crack, or it's a tiny crack, and then we look a little harder when I'm actually picking or verifying or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get another cup for this. I know that's an A cup, but I won't mess this up, I don't think. Watch me mess it up as I bag these pieces that are now in different letters for the same order. Yeah, Paul has that theory that maybe in the drawer the tension cracks them. I don't know, who knows. 6719. But it is quite frustrating because I feel like I go all the time because Paul works in the house now, since we had to move our kind of cataloging station to in the house. And then in the garage here, this is strictly pretty much fulfillment. So I always get upset when I have to go in the house and go tell Paul stuff. And we talked about it the other night, actually. Usually when I go in the house, it's not like I just found one problem. If I find one problem, I'll just be like, okay, I got a problem, and I'll fix it. So for Paul and I talked about communication and being separated in different areas. And this is something we might think about when we move, is like how to separate the warehouse versus the cataloging portion. Because we don't want it to feel like these two groups or these two teams are against each other. And not that that's how it feels at all right now necessarily. 6794. But there's a lot of built up so because it's inconvenient for me to walk into the house every single time I find an error and tell Paul, I let an error happen and I just fix it, and then another one. So eventually when I'm on like the 5th error of the day and I'm verifying and I'm just frustrated, then I go in the house and I don't yell at Paul, but I I'm frustrated at that point. So we've realized that with Paul not cataloging in the garage and fulfillment being in the same exact place, there's a lot of, I don't know if I'd say miscommunication, but more so, okay, this is new. Dang it, okay, I'll just put it in there and I'll bag it separate. Not miscommunication, but like lack of communication, because it's so much more inconvenient to go in there and tell him it for every little thing, for example. So we talked about that, and so I think that'll be something that we factor into when we move, is the warehousing versus the cataloging. 7165. All right, we're getting pretty close to done here. We got 6 more lots, or 5 more lots now. Yeah, so I feel bad because this is like right on my chest, the camera, and I keep tilting to tilt my head a little bit. And apparently now I didn't realize this till right now. When I tilt my head, I also tilt my body, and I feel like this might get seasick when you're watching this. So if you do, I apologize. And maybe this isn't an option. We had a phone, or we still have, a mount for the GoPro on, like, I could put it on my head, which is what I did, I don't know if it was the last picking video I did that in, but it was one of the last ones. And I mounted it to my head, and I kind of feel, maybe I'm remembering wrong here, but I feel like some people said that was really bad. There's too much movement and stuff. So yeah, might not do that. Maybe this doesn't work either. I also did another one where I think I mounted the camera to the cart and it was facing me, and I think I streamed that picking live. That was a pain though, so that'll probably never happen again. 60. So I don't know, if this is too movie, let me know as well. I'm getting confused now because I see that letter A on there and I see B and I go to put it in and it's wrong, but it's not wrong. All right, last 2 lots here, we're almost done. So 7599, which is actually over here on our last section, or almost last section. What was it? Yeah, 7599. So we've really been running out of big drawers recently, so this entire wall is all big drawers, and we're still out of big drawers. So we got these even bigger drawers, which I'll show you in just a second. 7729 down here. 10 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, and that is it. All the orders have been picked. I'm pretty sure I found that one drawer. Yeah, all picked. Cool. So yeah, we have these bigger drawers, and then we have our very, very big drawers, which is this, which initially the intention for this was something along the lines of like this, where it's all tires, and it's like actually more than halfway full. We have ended up going a lot of this, where I think you can see that. It's gallon bags in the drawer. The nice thing about this is like these are open, so all you have to do is reach your hand in and pull out the pieces, and you got the pieces you need. So this is actually relatively convenient, significantly more convenient than these are. These are bins with bags. I hate these. This is our A section. You start off your pick with the worst section, the A section, which is above the B section. Terrible. But by the time you get to the end, it's nice and easy. You finish it up here, and that is it. So we have an A section, a B section, a C section, which is pick-a-brick cups, and then D is for all the drawers, and then the E section is for this. I think I'm going to end it here. So thank you to the 2 people who requested to be packed on camera, and thank you to everyone watching. Again, please know that most of the time we do not honor requests to be packed on camera. We just don't have the time to do it, and we get too many requests, but maybe, you can place an order, and just maybe it'll be packed, but I can't promise anything. So thanks for watching. That is it. We will see you next time. If you want to join the Discord, it's pretty popular. Not popular, sorry. That was not correct. It's pretty active, and it seems to be getting more and more active with little deals and everything and people talking. So it's pretty fun. Join Discord in the description below, and as always, like and subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff. All right, I'm actually going to go now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.